Hi, I'm John with Tapscott Media Services. Welcome to our third episode of our podcast series. Today, we'll discuss the various performance measurements for speakers. The measurements that we'll cover today apply to the speakers and not the amplifiers that may be built into them or providing the amplified signals external to them. So let's get started. There are a multitude of factors that are used to measure and understand a particular speaker's performance. It is very important to understand these measurements to not only know what a particular speaker was designed to do, but also so you can match the right type of speaker to meet your particular needs. Just like microphones and the human ear, speakers are transducers. They convert one form of energy into another. More specifically, they convert voltage into air pressure waves. Now, this is the exact opposite of the microphone and the human ear, which turns air pressure waves into voltage. Speakers are used in countless ways, from the speaker on your cell phone to the loudspeakers at the Cape Canaveral launch site. In every application, speakers were either chosen based on their performance measurements, or they were designed and created to meet a required measured performance. Today, we'll talk about the three main performance criteria that are measured. That is, a speaker's frequency response, its sensitivity, and its power rating. Frequency response is a measurement of how well a speaker reproduces identified pitch tones or frequencies. Frequencies are measured in hertz. The test is performed by measuring the loudness of a predetermined group of frequencies that are fed into the speaker. The loudness of each captured tone is measured in decibels. Decibels are the scale of measurement that is used to measure sound. The measured results of each frequency is then placed on a graph. The graph displays the cross-section of frequency or pitch with loudness measured in decibels. The completed graph will produce a horizontal line that shows the peaks and valleys of each measured frequency. With this visual graphic, you can then see the frequencies a particular speaker produces well and what frequencies it doesn't produce well. A good example where this testing proved immeasurable was the choice of speaker performance for the telephone. The articulation of the human voice is found between the frequencies of 400 and 3000 hertz, and therefore the frequency response of speakers using telephones were designed to have the same frequency response in order to reproduce the human voice. The next performance measurement of a speaker is its sensitivity. The measure of a speaker's sensitivity is to compare the level of signal fed into the speaker against the audio level it reproduces. A speaker's sensitivity is its efficiency to reproduce sound. The process is simple. You feed a speaker a signal of predetermined set power and place a microphone at a set distance from the speaker and take a measurement. Typically, the signal power is 1 watt of power into the speaker, and the microphone distance is 1 meter from the speaker. This process can be written as an equation which measures a speaker's sensitivity or efficiency rating. And that is 1 watt of power at 1 meter distance produces X number of decibels. This information is also written on the speaker or on its packaging. The sensitivity rating of a speaker is important because it determines how powerful of a signal it needs to reproduce a viable and robust audio level. Specifically, a speaker's sensitivity rating will help determine your amplifier's requirements for your system. The third and final speaker measurement is its power handling. A speaker's power handling is the amount of power the manufacturer intended a particular speaker to process before damage occurs. Power is measured in watts. There are two measurements that are used to measure a speaker's ability to process and handle wattage. The first is called peak measurement. A peak measurement is the amount of wattage a speaker can process for a very short period, similar to a transient burst of power. Knowing this numeric capacity is very helpful in case your audio content being processed contains consistent levels along with bursts and transients randomly occurring. The other power handling measurement is called the RMS measurement. RMS stands for root mean squared and is the mathematical formula to measure the average power over a longer period of time than the peak measurement system. The RMS measurement is very important because the results tell you how the manufacturer of a particular speaker intended it to process and handle power over a longer and more continuous time frame. This is the number that you should pay very close attention to because the playback of audio typically occurs over longer and continuous time frames, such as a 3-minute song. Many manufacturers will only display the peak measurement results to make the speaker look like it handles more power than it actually does. So the RMS measurements are where the numbers count. Simply stated, focus and use the RMS measurements of a speaker as a baseline to know what a speaker was designed to handle. Then use its peak measurements to know what a speaker can handle for short periods above its RMS measurements. Now that you know how to understand the performance measurements and characteristics of speakers, you can now make more informed speaker selection choices for your audio needs. I'm John Chandler with Tapscott Media Services. Thanks for listening.